Welcome to the Young Cineast. Today is April 30th. My name is Matthew, and I am that Young Cineast. As always, I am joined by Kaylin.
Hello.
And Emma.
Hi.
That Young Cineast is a year-long podcast where I, Matthew, will spend a whole year doing as many film things, related things, and interviewing as many film people as possible. And every month, twice a month, I'll come back and report that progress to you guys. Today is the second episode of April, and that makes it a scene read. Today, in the whole month of April, I spent writing a scene, and today we're going to read it and we're going to critique it.
Okay, thank you, Matthew, for the wonderful introduction. This is our second episode of the month, so we will be doing a scene read. Thank you, Matthew, for our scene reads, and we made very sure to not open it before today. Matthew, are you going to assign our roles? Who are we playing today?
Okay, so
All I saw was there's a woman and there's a girl. So one of us is going to have to be a woman. One of us is going to have to be a girl.
That's all right.
I'm down for whatever.
Okay.
And you know I've been both.
And she's been both.
Yeah. So as you can tell, it's April 30th, and we are cutting it very close to being considered an April episode. So that means, one, I did not have great time management, and two, that I wrote the scene in the last 3 days. But I think it's more action packed and more there's more story to it, I think.
Are you proud of it though?
I am proud of it.
Okay.
I'm proud of
That's
the
all that
theme. I'm
matters.
proud of everything that I've come up with. I think I have a lot of cool concepts in here. So I'm just gonna say the roles. There's a girl, there's a woman, there's a man, there's another man, and there's a guard. So, see, I'm trying to think of how the scene goes. Okay, so we need two people for the first part. I kind of want to step back for this one.
Oh.
So
Okay.
I want to read the scene direction, and Kaylin, you could be the girl, and
Okay.
Emma, you could be the woman. You don't have to. I don't think you should do that.
Matthew's taking creative directive here
All
and
right,
saying,
fine.
please do not do an accent.
I'll be-
That's
I'll
so
be-
flash.
I'll be the-
I don't
I'll be
think
the-
you should do that. Just
I'll
don't
be the
do
girl.
that. Okay.
Should I talk like this though?
This is gonna be funny, and it shouldn't be funny. It should be pretty serious. But
Okay,
it's
okay.
gonna be funny
I'll
'cause
do it
Kaylin's
serious.
reading it.
I'll do it serious.
Okay, there's a lot of parentheses. So
Lot of.
when it's the way you say it, you don't say it. Like when it's describing the way you say it, you don't say it. But
And you're
when
not
it's
going to read it.
When it's direction of what's happening, read it.
Oh,
You
we'll
read
read
it.
our own
read it, yeah.
directions. Okay.
Oh, okay.
Interior, underground, abandoned train tracks, day. A woman and a girl walk in darkness. The woman points a rifle and flashlight ahead.
Mama, I'm scared. It's dark.
You're going to be okay. Stay close to Mom, okay?
Little girl walks up right behind her.
Can I balloon?
I need your attention to keep us safe.
Woman pats her daughter's head. They walk.
Are we almost there?
Yes, sweetheart.
Woman stops, takes out a map. Daughter looks around. Sounds of rustling, rocks, ground settling. A growl. Girl hugs mom's leg. Mom pats her. A shadow figure slowly limps into vision. Girl urgently taps mother. Woman looks up from map. Unholsters handgun.
Signs ASL. Balloon.
Girl deactivates device behind her ears. Silence. A shadow figure runs at the woman. Flash! Flash! Woman shoots the zombie. Switch to sound from the POV of the woman.
Signs ASL. Go! Now!
Both urgently run away. Woman looking back. Growl. Growls. A horde gathers and runs behind them. Running. Now this is part 2. Interior, underground, abandoned trade tracks. Moments later. They run into the large gates, blocking the rest of the tracks.
Signs ASL. Go to the gate! Now!
Girl runs to the locked gate. Woman turns around and points her rifle to the approaching horde. She fires as zombies approaching. Man, off screen. Class 3 horde, fire at will. 2 smaller doors open besides the large gates. Soldiers exit and also fire at the zombies. Zombies piling and crawling and dying. Over gunfire. 2 women. Ma'am, what's your name?
Maria!
Maria, welcome to the Kindling Rebel base.
Thank you!
Maria's gun clicks. Tick, tick. Are you alone?
My daughter!
What was that?
2 men. My daughter!
Maria turns to daughter.
Science ASL. Cookie.
Girl reaches into her backpack and tosses a loaded magazine to Maria. Maria loads gun and fires as more soldiers enter. Man, to Maria. You and your daughter can go inside. We've got it. Maria stops shooting, walks to her daughter.
Science ASL. Candy. Careful.
Maria points to the man. Daughter smiles and grabs large grenade from backpack. She walks it to the man. Girl lip reading. Oh. Wow. Thank you.
Signs. Throw it.
She points at the zombie horde. Man throws it. Tick. Tick. Boom! Girl straight, evil face. She smiles and runs back to Maria. They walk to the doors.
Science ASL. We are here. Safe.
The doors close.
Signs. Pop?
Girl activates device behind her ears. Sound returns. Girl hugs Maria's leg.
Looking around. Whoa. We're safe here? Ma'am!
Maria and girl don't hear.
Excuse me, ma'am.
Maria turns.
Yes?
Maria stares down the barrel of an assault rifle.
To girl. Balloon.
Silence. Maria puts her hand on her holstered gun. Ready. The guard intensifies. Switch to sound. POV of the woman, Maria.
Stop. Gosh. Stand down.
Man exits booth and walks to guard. Guard. Sir, there's a class 3 horde outside those walls. I'm tasked with preventing the dangerous contagion from entering the base, sir.
Well, sir, do they look sick enough to be from a class 3?
No.
Then stand down.
Switch to silence. POV of the girl. Dialogue is seen through lip reading and subtitles. Guard lowers gun. Maria unhands her gun.
Sorry, just protocol. I've got to test you.
Oh, yeah. Sorry about that.
Boothman raises a mechanical device to Maria's forehead. Device flashes multiple times. Flash. Flash. Guard tenses. Green flash.
Clean.
Boothman squats to the little girl.
Now your turn. It's gonna be cold.
Raises the device. Flash. 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 Red flash. Guard, Maria, and Boothman all frozen. Switch to sound. POV of the woman. Maria.
Oh my god. I'm so sorry. We'll leave.
Maria attempts to grab her daughter. Guard holds his hand out. Switch to silence. POV of the girl. We have protocol.
No.
Boothman devastatingly clicks the device, which injects something into the girl. Cut to black. End scene. The end.
So for those watching the podcast, I was holding up a gun. It's not me that was holding up the gun. It's the guard that's holding up the gun. I found that out. That's why I put the gun down. That's crazy. That's... What show is that from, though? Was that The Last of Us or something where they had a device like that where they could tell... That was The Last of Us? Yeah, okay. I thought so.
I've been watching The Last of Us.
It's good. No, it's good. You kind of
said...
the
podcast.
You said it inside that kind of universe. Did you mean to put it in like that?
No, it's not in the same universe.
Okay. But it's just the same kind of device.
Yeah.
Okay.
I didn't want something to be like a COVID test. Like, I didn't want it to take that long. I need something simple. And the only way that would happen is with the device that roughly looks like the same thing as the Last of Us device. But yeah, what do you guys think?
I think that I really like the concept. I like how you play with a little bit more characters in this one. That was very interesting to see how you were positioning them all in your head, like how we had trouble finding who was holding the gun. But we did find it in the end because you are very clear in your vision of what the script should look like. I do have to say, I did want to ask, what was it like to write a script in such a short period of time? But I can see that it reflects that it was written in a short period of time. Do you want to talk a little bit about that?
So basically when I was writing the scene like 2-3 days ago, I knew from the beginning of this month that it was going to be apocalypse themed. I think I've mentioned that to Kaylin that I have been watching Last of Us, but I just couldn't find a way. I had spring break. I was fooling around a lot. I was having fun with my friends, but I really should have been writing. But I also couldn't find a good premise for the scene. And it still kind of led to similarities of The Last of Us with the parental figure and younger protagonist, I guess. But it was just, I guess, ended up landing on more world building rather than trying to connect with the characters from what I have reread. But my goal was to set a scene, not setting the scene. Like, I'm trying to write a scene that isn't at the beginning of the movie, but rather somewhere in the developing portion of the plot. And that this was my attempt at throwing things into the scene to stimulate the characters and have things develop and change between the characters. So it was more action because that's the only way I right now know how to inflict damage and effect on the characters to make them do something. But yeah, that was the best way of me putting it down in a story format as quickly as possible.
Yeah, from your goal of wanting to write a scene in the middle of a larger story, I think you executed that pretty well. I see your vision in how using the physical harm to characters as a tool to take you to where you need to be without having to untie the complexities of the social interactions that can be hard to explain in such a short scene. I do see that the world building was much more invested in than the characters, not to its own fault. I believe that your goal was to discover world building, and this is how you got there, and I really like that. Can you talk to what it was like to have to disconnect from the characters to write about the world in this sense? Because you did take the other scripts to dive into what it means to connect to characters, and now you're trying world building, which I see it as a different side of writing. But how do you feel about it?
I think in this one, I really wanted the vibe of the apocalypse to just come through, but like watching The Last of Us, it's very much a visual cue. It's very much a visual vibe and visual set palette that you'll see on the screen the whole time. But when writing that, you don't know what you're reading unless it's being described. So that's why a lot of world building came through, is because you don't have that filter of a zombie apocalypse is happening right now. I guess describing the scene more will bring in I assumed describing the scene more would bring in more of the apocalypse into the scene so that the vibe is there, but that like took away from the characters, which I guess wasn't my intent, but world building was what came through.
I will say this though, I do think it's like a really good start to, like, it's a good solid first draft that if you went back and added just even better like dialogue or just like more emotion to the characters, or clean things up and wrote the whole script out and then could go back and actually make it so that everything was coherent and consistent throughout the script, just on like how the characters were supposed to act and stuff. I feel like there's some things we're not really seeing fully, and like you said, we're in the middle of this movie basically, so some things that may have been established before we're not getting so much here.
Yeah.
But I think it's a really, I mean, maybe it's kind of just rushed in the way of the dialogue and the way the character development kind of plays out throughout, but I think it's a really solid foundation for something bigger. But yeah, I agree. I think that there's a lot that is harder to show because it's all written out, and it's not you're not seeing it as you would in like a on screen. But I do think you get a lot of those visual cues and what you're trying to portray in your scene directions. So
I think I spent a lot of time, I guess, trying to come through with the fact that the woman and the girl have been like their dynamic has been set and founded way before the scene, and I want to get your opinion on how well that was, like, how strong you thought that came through on the paper.
well, for me, I think it came through pretty good. I mean, they have their code words that they have for each other that they sign, and you know, the fact that she knew how to pull the extra magazine out for Cookie, right, or something like that, and then to hand like the candy careful to be the grenade. You know, it's just like these little things that like they've had to survive together for so long in these crazy times, like this zombie apocalypse basically, and that they've had to find little shortcuts and little code words essentially to like make things faster, and for this girl to understand what how she can help her mom in keeping both of them safe. I think it was confusing in some aspects just because it would have been already established, but I think it's still, you get the idea that this is something that would have been established in the previous scene, or you would have seen a little bit more. But I think it lends to that, being a little confused on what they're trying to say to each other, and how their dynamic works kind of adds to the fact that there's something already established, though, that you're not, there's a secret between them that you're not in on, and you're getting thrown in facing that secret that you're not getting. So
Yeah, I'd agree with Kaylin. The establishment of their dynamic does come through, and for that confusion, it does work to your advantage, the fact that you are starting in the middle of a story, because we did feel lost, but it felt like that was the point, that we were supposed to get to know these characters as they were running through this scene, and we did get to know them better, as Kaylin said, through these little code words and a flow that they seem to fall into, which I really liked. That pattern of a code and a response, that met all of their needs was very interesting.
And I think it's such an artistic choice, going back to kind of what you were saying before, Matthew, which is like things that you won't be able to like really get unless you're like watching it actually produce. And it's just the fact that you're switching between perspectives of the mom and the daughter, and the sounds coming in and out. And I think that's such a strong artistic choice for something like this, like the setup that you've created. And it lends that drama where this girl's just trying to lip read what these people are saying, and the mom's actually hearing it, and she's switching between you as the audience member switching between the two. And I think that's pretty clever. So
Just building off of that, I did want to ask you, Matthew, I know we talked about it in episodes in the past, on how you used to write scenes and scripts based on your capacity as a young filmmaker. And now that you've had 4 months writing 4 different scripts, this one seems very well established, again, in its artistic direction and artistic choices and world building. Do you feel free from that pressure to create something that you can create right now?
Yeah, I think after exploring a lot more into what, like, how different people write, how researching how a lot of the screenwriters in a lot of the iconic movies have written them. Um, I saw a video where I don't know if it's Key or Peele, the one that does the horror movies.
It's Peel.
It's Peele,
Yeah.
Jordan Peele. He was like talking in an interview, saying that writing, writing is like a hobby to him. Writing is something that he fell in love with, and something that he can come home to, and is, and do, that is better than watching TV, sitting down and watching TV, and like over 5 years he was coming back and adding to it and perfecting it, and he only did that because that was his passion. And I think taking from that, it's writing something that you're happy with, writing something that you would call your favorite movie, writing something that you want to see, that you would watch, not writing it for anybody else, not writing it for to please others, but to write what you're interested at the moment. I think seeing the other episodes, seeing what I was consuming, seeing what I was watching, and seeing that how it affects what I'm writing, but I take my own twist on it and I make it, I add to the genre, basically. I think writing this without the thought of me having to film it was really freeing, and just setting the scene and setting the characters and setting the world was better than worrying about filming it, which was the fun part, I guess.
And I mean, for something like a writing exercise, that's exactly what you should be doing. So, and it's coming through. Like, I think this is one of your more developed scenes. I mean, even if you look from scenes one and or scene reads 1 and 2 to this, it's such a big difference. And I think the last one is still my favorite, just because it references characters that we went, we've dealt with before, and the emotional connection between the two is, was great. But this is something different. But I also think that this is the most thought out, where you're linking, as we talked about before, this, like, your artistic choice as would be as a director with your writing in, like, the appropriate way. I think we're not just explaining, camera movements and stuff, but instead actually describing how artistic it would end up being, more like an editor than a director, which, is one way.
I think a lot of it came with the genre, because there's not a lot of genres where you could only come across one kind of situation. In zombie apocalypse, a lot of the situation is fighting zombies and trying to survive, rather than setting your story in the real world where anything can happen anywhere to anyone, which is a lot harder to, like, spark a creative idea that hasn't been made, or hasn't, like, isn't important enough to twist into a plot. And putting my characters in a zombie apocalypse, there was really only one way, I guess, to take it, which is to fight zombies. But I'm kind of contradicting what I see in The Last of Us, which is a lot of more moral and less involved with the zombies. But the way, as a beginner like me, I was only able to take it to zombies, I guess.
And like I said, this is a really good start to something bigger, like that you could flesh out, or anybody could flesh out, if this was actually a piece that you were interested in fleshing out. It's there, and you can start adding all those other moral questions and whatever human questions if you wanted to, or you could just make it a full-on.
Dude, I freaking love apocalypse movies. There's two things that I'd love to see in shows and TV, or in shows and movies, is kaiju and zombie apocalypse, like, dramas. Those are, I would love to make, like, something along the lines of those. And this is why I really like this scene, is because, dude, I'm writing like something similar to The Last of Us, and I love The Last of Us. So
No, it's a good yeah.
Yeah, it sounds like you're finding out what it means to write your favorite movies. And I think that we all agree that this is a wonderful starting off point. I think it is a really good piece that you've brought us so far, and it shows a lot of your growth and your growing into what it means to be a filmmaker from top to bottom. What is it specifically from this writing experience that you're going to bring into your next?
I think. Ooh, I don't know. I think it's like the way I really like the way I had to think of the characters as consistent people as they react to so many things being thrown at them. They have to stay close to their character. I guess usually I would write out a whole chart, what they want, what they need, what they're missing, what they're going to get. But for this one, I wanted to just look. I mean, I didn't have time, but I just looked at the page and I tried to keep it as consistent as possible in between all the conflicts and the obstacles, which is what I think I should take to every script and keeping the characters consistent. But I think I found myself before using the characters as tools to make the plot go forward rather than like having the characters move the plot forward themselves. So I'm trying to think more character based reactions based on the environment that's around them rather than the environment giving them into a situation where the environment moves them to a different part of the story.
Yeah, we can't wait to see it.
What's next? Do you have an idea for that?
I do. I really do. I've been watching the Residence on Netflix.
Oh.
Do you know what that is?
No.
It's I think came out this year. Murder mystery, White House. And I like the whole style of it. A lot of the main character is very witty and quick with it, and I really like how she takes that into each interaction with every single kind of character you can find, like a bratty dude, a confused dude, someone that goes along with everything that they say, or someone that goes against everything they say. She still takes that wittiness and turns the conversation into something that like has the audience bouncing back and forth between what they're saying. And she's just, I think a lot of the next scene will be very dialogue kind of focused and like tuning how quick and how well I can like move a story forward with the characters. Like in The Residence, she's herself. She doesn't change. She's stubborn. And a lot of the characters are trying to like poke at her, but like she's like talking in such a way that she's in control, and she's the one that really shows her character against every single other person that's trying to foil her case. So that's really something that I'm trying to figure out how to write, because I'm trying to finish that show now. I'm hooked on it. I need to know more. I need to listen to more of this dialogue because it sounds kind of poetic in my head. Like it sounds like I don't listen to music, but if music sounded like dialogue that I liked, then that would be the dialogue. And like even the composing, I haven't even looked into who composed it, but like just sets the scene so well. Like that shows everything I would want to write, basically.
So we're gonna get a murder mystery for.
So we're gonna get kind of something like that. I don't know yet. It's
we
still
might get a murder mystery.
April.
We might get a cool character.
All right, don't go too
it's
nor
still
though.
April.
Don't fall too much into the stereotypes, because then we're gonna get a stereotypical fast talking detective.
Yeah.
Or sarcastic detective or whatever. I haven't watched the show, so I don't know.
Check out the first episode. Well, yeah, that was a scene read. In terms of recent events, like I was talking to Emma before the Kaylin got here. We looked through almost like how I changed in editing, and how yesterday I had finished just yesterday I finished editing the shorts that are releasing today. So that I think that was the closest crunch I've ever had, but because of the way I evolved it in over these 8 episodes now, this is entry 8, I have had a speedier process, and I guess in recent events, the fastest I've ever edited a video was episode 7, which was all on Monday. All of it was on Monday, so I put it all together, even including the overlays and all the effects, changing the video. It's a whole thing that I could like make a whole like documentary about how I edited this stupid little whole round of episodes every 2 months, trying to juggle school and stuff like that. But like let's just not talk about that. But yeah, I guess that was the shortest episode I had, and I was able to edit as fast as I can in a more like, I guess, streamlined way that I was able to get it out today, which is like the first time we've ever had a release on the same day we're recording. Well, I've been that young Cineast. My name is Matthew, and I have been that young Cineast. Thank you for listening to That Young Cineast. It is entry 8. Listen to more episodes of That Young Cineast. Thank you to Kaylin and Emma. Bye-bye.
Bye.
Bye.
Interior. Underground abandoned train tracks. Day. An woman and a girl walk in darkness. The woman...
Wait, take that back. It's not an woman. It's a woman. No. You just said that's actually written down. And woman.
Okay. Okay, no cuts, no butts, no coconuts.
You read it.
And woman and a girl.
You wrote it.
Okay. Okay. Serious. Interior underground abandoned train tracks. Day. A woman and a girl walk in darkness. The woman points a rifle and flashlight ahead.
Mama, I'm scared. It's dark. What? Matthew won't let me do a voice. This is the best you're gonna get.
I'm sorry. Okay.
I'm scared. It's dark.
It has to be an innocent,
let me
stressful
lock
scene.
in.
I
sorry.
did. I tried.
Oh yeah, I'm talking
I
to
know.
Emma.
I appreciate the enthusiasm, Kaylin. I was just not expecting that.
You're my mother.
Kaylin, stop. Maybe we can start over.
Oh man. Alright, we're not gonna get through this. The fact is we play these characters throughout the whole thing, and I'm the booth man.
And it's 6 pages long.
The booth man's gonna be like, little girl, and I'm like, yes. Ma'am. No, I'm gonna take that back. That was so bad. Ma'am, what are you doing, ma'am? Come over here.
Find
We're
your
free
teeth,
down
buddy.
here.
It's okay. It's someone.
Ma'am.